The BC NDP is concerned that law-abiding citizens won't be so law-abiding. Hey all, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. Well, the other day, the BC Conservative leader announced to Global News that he will not be allowing provincial police resources, to be used in Liberal gun confiscation from law-abiding citizens. Let's hear what he had to say.
The provincial NDP is raising concerns about the Conservative leader's commitment to enforcing national gun regulations.
From my perspective, I think that's an overreach by government, and so I will not have any provincial resources being spent on their initiative.
John Rustad was commenting on changes to firearms laws brought in last year. They put new restrictions on handguns and place new restrictions on firearms. Rustad says Ottawa is free to enforce the changes with its own resources, including border guards, but it wouldn't be a priority for provincially controlled law enforcement officers.
In response to that announcement, some NDP politicians were quite upset, and they started saying some pretty ridiculous stuff. Let's take a look at what this former RCMP officer, who is also an NDP candidate, had to say.
I have family, I have friends that work on the front lines of policing every day, and these statements are dangerous to them. They're put in harm's way when we say that these laws are not going to be enforced. We have victims of domestic violence, intimate partner violence, who are put in harm's way when these tools are taken from police officers.
Before entering politics, Baltej DHILLON was an RCMP officer for 30 years in an anti-gang capacity.
As a former RCMP officer myself, I can say that this guy is just full of crap. He's forgetting the fact that licensed Canadians have been vetted. They've gone through a training course, and they are among the most law-abiding citizens that we have. I don't know if he owns a gun personally, because as an RCMP member of his generation, he was not required to get a firearms license. And since he's spewing off all the false rhetoric that Liberals and NDPers spew constantly, I would suggest that he probably doesn't have a firearms license, because he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. There are a few legal principles here that one must consider. First off, it is a long-standing principle that you should not be punished for somebody else's crime. So let's think about that. We have here law-abiding citizens who've gone through all of the training and all of the background checks and are under constant scrutiny. If they break the law, they get their firearms and their license taken away from them. And it has been shown that they are among the most law-abiding citizens there are. So because gangs who smuggle firearms in from the United States, who purchase them illegally, because they commit crimes with firearms, we are now supposed to punish people who don't commit crimes with firearms? That's completely ridiculous, and it goes against legal principles that you should not be punished for somebody else's crime. The fact is, you can take away all legally purchased firearms from every law-abiding citizen in Canada, and it won't make a bit of difference in violent crimes. Criminals will get firearms no matter what. They do it now, and they'll continue to do it if you take away all of the firearms from law-abiding citizens. The only difference is now citizens won't have firearms to either protect themselves or go hunting or to engage in sporting activities that involve firearms. This is nothing but propaganda. It's an election year, remember that. And every time there's an election, NDPers and Liberals roll this topic out. They present it as a way for them to save Canadians and to reduce crime. But think about it. Crime under Harper was going down. And ever since the Liberals took power in Ottawa, crime has been skyrocketing. Violent crime has been skyrocketing. Crime where people use firearms has been skyrocketing. And those firearms aren't from law-abiding citizens. Those firearms are obtained illegally, the vast majority of them being smuggled in from the United States of America. And this will not change. So while these governments are trying to violate our rights and trying to disarm us, think about why that really is. What's coming down the pike? There's always a reason why societies disarm their citizens, and it's never good. It never results in lower crime. It always results in more crime, and especially crimes committed by the government towards their citizens. In my opinion, this former RCMP officer is violating one of the most sacred principles of being an RCMP officer or police officer, any police officer, And that is your number one duty is to protect the rights of citizens, not to enforce the law. That's a secondary duty. Police officers should not be the hammer of the government. They shouldn't solely work for the government. They are employees of you and I. They work for us, and they should protect our rights. Every police officer in Canada should say, no, I'm not going to do this because I consider it to be an unlawful order. Because every person has a right to defend themselves. Every person has a right, unless that right has been removed by due process of law, to own a firearm. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you think. Put your comments down below. And while you're at it, please like this video, share with your friends and on social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification so you never miss another video. I do have a lot of links in the show notes of this video to all my social media, including a link to my website where you can sign up for the Canadian Firearm Safety Course. I would also like to invite you to tune in on Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. when I have a live stream, and I hope that you join in that conversation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.